Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be applying a full face of my B-list products. Right after this, John and I are packing up and we'll be gone for the entire month of June. So all of my A-list tried and true ride or die favorite makeup items are packed in my bag right now already. So I looked at my collection and I pulled out all of the products that I really like, but they're not quite good enough to pack with me in my travel bag. But before we get started, I would love for you to leave some questions for me in the comment section below. John is gonna interview me Hot Ones style, and we really want to source some questions from my YouTube audience. Months and months ago, I asked my Instagram audience for some Hot Ones questions, but you guys know me a little bit more intimately than my Instagram audience because I do go into such detail here. We've got the whole Hot Ones lineup, and John is gonna interview me like Sean Evans. And so drop any questions in the comment section below that are kind of difficult to answer, that are juicy, that are deep, that are silly, something that you're just curious to know about me, and then he's gonna pick the ones that he thinks are the most interesting. So if you wanna contribute to the Hot Ones video, drop your questions in the comment section below. And now, if you wanna know how I got this look with my B-list products, keep on watching. First up, I have the Fit Glow Foundation Plus in F2. I really like the way this looks on the skin. I like the way it feels. It adds a nice amount of coverage. F2 matches me perfectly, and I really love the way that this goes on with the doe foot applicator. I feel like because of that, I really don't over apply foundation, which happens if I have a pump. With pump foundations, you get so much product out on each pump as I proceed to put foundation all over my face. The reason this foundation doesn't make the cut when I travel is, first of all, it comes in a really thick glass bottle, so it's super heavy. And let me tell you, my bags always get that Delta Heavy tag every time I travel. The thing about the Fit Glow foundation for me is that once it first goes on, I think it looks absolutely beautiful, and I love wearing this on a day-to-day basis, but it just gets pretty dewy, and I don't really like a dewy foundation. I love something that's a satin matte, that just maybe more of a satin natural, something that just looks like skin. I think that this foundation's incredible if you like something with a natural to dewy finish. But for me, I always bring on vacation my tried and true, sadly discontinued Makeup Forever Invisible Cover Foundation. They reformulated it. As you know, if you've been here for a while, I tried it on my channel. It's a beautiful, perfect formula, but they pumped it full of fragrance and I broke out in a huge rash. So sadly, I can't use it. So as you can see here, looks like a really good shade match, but it's just a little bit dewy for me when I'm on vacation. Generally, I go to more warm weather locations. I'm a warm weather gal. And I need something that's gonna kind of set down a little bit and not move. And the dewier the product, the more it moves on the skin. That's just the nature of it. And so, you know, I just prefer something a little more skin-like. Then I've got the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer in 1CR. You know that I've been trying to find really good concealer shade matches at Sephora because I always just talk about my beloved Fit Glow C2.5. And you know, sadly for me, I just don't like this concealer. It's a beautiful shade match for me. It's not too bright, it's not too yellow, but unfortunately, this is so creamy and so dewy. I find that it just spreads right out all over my face and it creases no matter what I do. And I'll let it sit like this for about a minute so it can kind of start setting a little bit, and then I can blend it. That's a little bit of a trick to get your concealer to stay in place. But I find that even by letting this sit on my skin, it still is just so creasy and so dewy. It really just slides right off my skin. And so it doesn't keep the coverage I want. My opinion is a little bit more negative about this now. Concealer is done. So I'm gonna go in with my Say Sun Melt Bronzer in light bronze. Now, this does not make the vacation cut because while I absolutely love this formula, it's just, it's too dark and too orange for me. You know, I really have to kind of have a light hand. Again, when I'm on vacation, I much prefer powder products because then I can set my makeup. You know, I'm gonna be going this month to New York, the Bay Area, and LA, and all of those right now are in the 80s and 90s. So I need products that are going to stay on my face in that heat. and I just don't find that creams are the best option for that. So using a light hand right now, I do love the way that this looks. I think the formula is so easy to blend. I think it's skin-like. If they just expanded their shade range, I would be super happy. So now I may look into some of the new ones. You know, Makeup by Mario just released this, what is it? The Perfector or the Enhancer, one of them. It's like a sheer cream bronzer with some luminosity. That looks right up my alley. So applied like that, I think it's okay. For blush, I picked the Phytosurgence Skin Spark Blush Balm in Fume. Now, the reason this doesn't make it on vacation, again, is because I just like to bring powders or cream powder hybrids when I go on vacation. But it's not one of my daily essentials because I'm really just waiting for Phytosurgence to release their Toasted collection. The Skin Spark formula, if you don't know it, is just this cream that's almost like a cross between a cream and like a whipped mousse. And you'll see on my skin, it just looks like skin. It's not dewy, it's not matte, it really is just that perfect skin-like finish. It blends like a dream. It's just so easy to use. They're so fun to play with because of how beautifully they blend. I mean, saw how fast that was. The thing is, I just don't think that any of the current Phytosurgence blush shades are my everyday staples. This is the closest, Fume. I'm just so excited for their Toasted collection. Basically, they took some of their best-selling shades and they're reducing the brightness, so they're making them this beautiful range of kind of like beigey tans, brownie reds, colors that really look like skin. And those are the blush colors that I gravitate towards on a daily basis. Think things like Victoria Beckham mini skirt, or Bare Minerals Blurred Buff, MAC Glow Play in Blush Please. So I really love this one, Fume. I'll show you up close. It definitely looks a little bit gray, but on the skin, instead of going on like a kind of gray mauve like that, it really does warm up to a natural looking pink shade. So I just adore this formula. I think it's truly one of the best cream blushes that money can buy. But again, I'm just waiting for them to release those shades that just scream my name. I'm gonna do brows, and for that I'm taking my e.l.f. Wow Brow, which is one of my favorite products, but I like the shade Taupe, and this is just neutral brown that I'm using up. Is this neutral? I'm not sure. It's really dark. No, I guess that is a neutral brown. It's not super warm, and it's not super ashy, so that probably is described well. But I just find that in such a dark color on me, you can see it's really kind of getting messy and outside my hairs because I have to kind of comb it through to build up that color since I packed my eye pencil. But the shade Taupe is light enough that it just adds this incredible kind of volume to my eyebrows without looking messy. I basically just need to stick with my tried and true Taupe shade. Brows are done. I'm gonna go in with highlighter, and I'm gonna use my Beauty Pie Triple Luminizing Wand. I love this highlighter, but it is so intense and it looks like gloss on the skin. And so when I'm traveling, again, instead I go with my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter because that is just really subtle, soft focus glow, very much doesn't look like a highlighter. It just looks like really expensive skin, whereas this, you know, you're getting like gloss, you're getting shine, sheer shimmer. It looks like you are wearing a highlighter. So I definitely love this product for certain looks, but when I'm on vacation, I just want something that looks like skin. And to be clear, this does not have any visible shimmer particles or glitter. It's really just that it looks like wet and super high shine on the skin, and that to me then looks like a highlighter. But I just want to clarify, you can't see any glitter, any shimmer on the face. And if you haven't tried Beauty Pie, you can get $10 off with the code Kate Sent Me. Another product I'm still trying to wrap my head around is the Say Air Set powder. You know, I don't know how I feel about this. I've used it so many times and something's off. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but there are tiny little shimmer particles in this. And when I'm setting my face with powder, I want my skin to be mattified. I don't want to mattify it with powder that also adds shimmer, which makes it look not matte. So I get what they were going for, and it looks beautiful when you first apply it, but I noticed that within a few minutes of wearing this powder, my skin looks oily again. Then I end up adding more powder, and it becomes a total disaster because then my face is super powdery and dry and tight, and that's not what I want either. So now I've powdered under my eyes. We'll see if that helps keep the concealer in place, and we can compare each side of the face. I much prefer the look of this side of my face versus all of that kind of dewiness collecting here and here. and here. I just don't love that. So if this powder can keep the Fit Glow foundation under control, then I will like it. But also, I just don't like to travel with a translucent powder because, you know, it can get a little bit messy. So I bring on vacation my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless powder in the shade Fair. I always take a little eyeshadow palette with me on vacation, and the one that I do not ever stop reaching for is the M Cosmetics palette in Da Vinci. It has all my perfect shades. Today, I wanted to revisit Magic Hour because I really just don't reach for this much. I think I'm just gonna use this brown mixed with this pink a little bit. And then as a glitter topper, I always forget about this. This is the Bodyography Glitter Pigment in Off the Hook. I reach for Celestial all the time. I've worn Celestial in, I think, a couple YouTube videos this month. I think I just always forget what Off the Hook looks like because it definitely is a little bit taupey. And I always think though that it's more cool toned than it is. So I'm just first gonna go in with the M Cosmetics shades, mixing the sort of brown and that rose shade to add a little bit of warmth. Yeah, see how that just made like a nice terracotta? I like that kind of shade in the crease. I like a little bit of warmth to help bring out the blue in my eyes. But you know, this formula of the M Cosmetics Magic Hour palette is incredible. I just really don't find that I want this like light pink shade. I hate this pinky gold that looks like NARS Orgasm. I think it makes me look sick. I just really wear these top three here, and then I can use that as an inner corner highlight, and it's just not a very versatile palette for me. Whereas the Da Vinci palette, I would use every single shade, and I do use every single shade. Okay, I wasn't paying attention and I added way too much eyeshadow. It's hard to talk and apply makeup, honestly. Okay, I have the base down. I'm gonna go in now with Bodyography Off the Hook. I think Bodyography gave me a code actually, ages ago, but I totally forgot about it. If you want 15% off Bodyography, you can use the code KATE15. Sorry about that, did not ever share that. Okay, well that is stunning. It's not too taupe. Every time I think of Off the Hook from Bodyography, I know online it's described as a taupe on their website, so I'm like, it's too cool tone for me. I like more bronzes. But this is not just a taupe. There's some warmth in some lights and some cool tone qualities in some lights. This is a really special shade. I might even pack this with me on vacation. Bonus, zero fallout under my eyes. Man, Bodyography glitter pigments, don't sleep on these. They're pretty fantastic. And then under the eyes, I'm running those same two matte shadows from M Cosmetics just to bring it together a little bit. Unfortunately, my eyelash curler is packed, so I'm just gonna go right in with my Thrive mascara. This is really heavy, it's weighted, so instead I packed with me my Maybelline Lash Sensational Tubing Mascara. I love the Thrive just as much, it's just quite a bit heavier. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen myself with mascara and no eyelash curler. It's such a difference. My eyelashes are like flat right now, but not bad, still looks good. The Thrive does such a good job at kind of lifting, lengthening, and volumizing. I just love it. Lastly, I brought out 3 lip products that I love, but I never take with me as essentials. The first up, I have the Lawless Forget the Filler Mini Gloss in George. It's advertised on Lawless's website as this medium tan kind of warm brown shade, and I don't know what they're talking about. This is practically clear on me. See how at first it is kind of, no, I can't give them that. It's not even medium. I don't know what they're talking about. That's practically my lip color, and it's beautiful. I wish Lawless would start making shades that are a little bit darker. They just launched like a QVC trio with a sheer red. They had a limited edition shade that was a sheer rose, but I can't wait for them to come out with some deeper browns because, you know, most of their products are really, really light, but I do love them. I also have the In Beauty Lip Glaze in Cookie. My favorites from them are Berry Jam, Fruity Cereal, and Candy Apple. And if I'm doing kind of like a fun, cool tone look, I love Frosé, but I never reach for Cookie because I always remember that it's quite light and I worry that it's gonna look too milky. So let me just revisit this. And I know it says it smells like a cookie, but to me it smells like coffee cake. Yeah, there's some kind of coffee cake smell. I like it. I think I was wrong about Cookie. I don't think that that's too light. It doesn't seem to be doing any like weird white ring kind of stuff in your mouth that gets a little funky and gross looking. I need to pull this out. Maybe I'll keep it at my desk and I'll use it more. Lastly, I have the Beauty Pie Future Lipstick Luxe Shine in You Sexy Thing. This is one of my all-time favorite lipsticks, but this is like a My Lips But Better kind of nude. And anytime I want to reach for a nude lipstick on vacation, I just reach for the ones that I know are like a real true nude on me. I need to revisit this because I keep forgetting what it really looks like on my lips. Well, that's stunning. Shit, I need to bring this too. Oh no. Okay, so I was totally wrong about this. This is not really like a fleshy nude. It is, what is it? Let me know in the comment section below what you would call this kind of shade, because in my mind, a lot of times I apply products that I think are so beautiful, like the Bodyography glitter pigment in Off the Hook, but I can't remember really what the shade is because it doesn't fall into one specific category. And then I end up not reaching for it because I can't really remember what it looks like. And that's what happens with this. I'm like, it's a rose, but it's a nude, but it's a peach. You know what I mean? How would you describe this? Maybe that will help me. But man, this formula, oh, it's cushiony. It's so nourishing. It's like a more lipstick version of the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss. It's a little bit thinner in consistency. Same as the Chantecaille Lip Chic. This is a little bit glossier, a little bit thinner. So if you thought that the Charlotte Tilbury and the Chantecaille were too expensive or were too thick, you'd probably love the Future Lipstick Luxe Shine from Beauty Pie, and it has this amazing kind of like vanilla cake scent that I love. This needs to live in my purse. This is like my perfect My Lips But Better color. I did that My Lips But Better video and I didn't include this, and this is like the color. YouTuber fail. As Allie Glines would say, let's assess the situation. I'm really happy with how everything came out. I think everything looks great. Surprisingly, the concealer isn't like super creasy. I think setting it with a lot of powder really helped, and it really doesn't feel too dry under my eyes. So I'm really happy that now I can sort of revisit that Dior concealer with a little bit more enthusiasm and kind of see if just powdering it more helps it. But you know what? The only thing I'm not liking is how sort of wet and dewy my skin looks with that Fit Glow foundation. Because I do have dry skin, I tend to prep my skin with a lot of hydrating serums, some rich moisturizers, and sort of a natural finish sunscreen. So I do have quite a lot of skincare on that is dewy itself. So that's why I prefer foundations that are just more of a natural satin finish or even a satin matte. So then I can just strategically add the glow and the gloss where I want it. So I think with that Fit Glow foundation, I'm totally gonna keep using it up because in my day-to-day life, I think it's great. But you know, again, when you're in pictures or you're on vacation and you want your skin to look perfect, I just would reach for other products. But man, I have to say, I'm actually really impressed with how everything else looked. Bodyography glitter pigment and Off the Hook, going to an A. Beauty Pie You Sexy Thing, going to an A. The brow's gonna stay at a B. I think neutral brown is a little bit cool toned, especially compared to my hair. I'm gonna go get my hair colored tomorrow, but I'm sure once this video is live in June, it's gonna be like weeks after I get my hair done. But right now, roots are dark. So this eyebrow color perfectly matches my roots actually, because my roots are very ashy and kind of cool tone, dirty blonde. But I'm about to go get my hair recolored. And so when my hair is this again, I think I just need to stick with that lighter taupe shade from e.l.f. I do think I'm going to declutter my M Cosmetics Magic Hour palette, only if I can find a friend who really wants it, because I only use these top three. It's just not worth keeping a palette around for that. Like, I can find this kind of shimmery shade anywhere. I can definitely get a matte brown anywhere, and I'm sure I have something like this rosy mauve shade in my collection, so I don't really need to keep it around for that, although I do really like this shimmer. It's really beautiful. The Thrive Cosmetics mascara does not count as a B-list. I just brought the Maybelline because it was lighter, but I love the Thrive. This is an A. The Beauty Pie Luminizing Wand, I love this. Again, I just prefer something a little bit more natural on the skin when I travel, but this still is an A. This is one of my favorite products. It's just not one I take with me when I travel. And lastly, the Say Sun Melt Bronzer is gonna stay at a B. You know, it's just still a little too dark and too orange for me, but I'm really excited to try that new Makeup Forever Perfector. And lastly, the Say Air Set Powder. I'm gonna try it one more time, and this time I'm gonna try it with a satin kind of natural finish foundation, like my old Makeup Forevers. And if it still kind of is looking oily throughout the day and this isn't keeping my skin mattified, then I'm gonna give this to a friend so they can review it. And before we go, please leave your Hot Ones questions in the comment section below. Make it as juicy, as deep, as interesting, as silly as you want. Anything that's kind of like a Hot Ones kind of question where I can tell like a full story around it. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.